Ladies and gentlemen, couldn't have our beginning of our commute today in our normal spot, so we just kind of pulled off. They're redoing the pavement and figured, well, we took this home last night, got a nice ride home. Now we're going to take the commute. I can already tell you after the ride home, this bike is a little uncomfortable after you get on it for about an hour, but it's still fun. So let's throw a leg on it and head to work. Still love that single cylinder engine. Kind of wish there were some knobby tires on this. I go down that route there. Oh, well, on my way to work today, got to do the regular job thing, but we get to take the KTM and see what it's like on an hour-long ride. The ride home last night was fun. Did find a few things about the bike that were interesting. If you get a chance to watch that video, specifically near the end where I get a little power check, you'll notice that the bike gets a little wobbly at around 100 miles an hour. I mean, a little wobbly. It's kind of some sketchy shit, to be honest. But I kind of looked at it a little bit, kind of looked around. I did check the tire pressure. Tire pressures were pretty good. Put a little low in the front. So I increased the tire pressure up to standard, put it about 33 PSI. In the front it was only running 30. I don't think that really is going to have that big of a deal with it, but you know, you never know. I think it might have something to do with wheel imbalance. I think the wheels might be a little off. So, yeah. Oh my God. Tell you what, the one thing that is interesting about riding a bike like this is I am, full disclosure, wearing a backpack. And I haven't had to wear a backpack in a while. But the nature of this motorcycle and the fact that there is no storage, I need to be able to at least transport something with me. Now, I gotta be honest, today it is a little brisk. I'll just call it that. It is about 53 degrees right now. And yeah, it's brisk. But I'm wearing enough layers. I got my gloves, I got my jacket, you know. I'll be fine. As I would tell my kids, don't worry, be a big boy, you can handle it. But on the commute this morning, I got to thinking about what this bike was for last night and what, because my full disclosure, I would not want to do this on a daily basis with this motorcycle. The seat is not comfortable for a longer ride. It's not built for that. This bike, to me, I would love to have it to be able to create, to be able to go out carve up some twisties, because this bike will be really good for that, because it just lays over, and handling is really good other than the 100-mile-an-hour issue that I found. But as I said, I think that has more to do with the I think that has more to do with the tires than with the bike itself. But if I was going to have something like this, it would be for going down the road, nice curves, enjoying it. Riding it back and forth to work every day? No. No, I would not want to do that. Now, other people might have a different opinion. That's on them, but for me, no, I'm not going to ride it back and forth to work every day. It's not going to happen. Now, I was thinking about something else. And full disclosure, we were going to be doing Royal Enfield on Friday. However, the weather does not look like it's going to be conducive to, or not conducive. It's not going to be. It's not going to be cooperative with that. However, we are going to be doing Harley Davidson on Saturday. Now, the Harley Davidson rides, we got messaged by one of the global PRs at Harley, and kind of got a list of the bikes we want to do. Really want to focus on the road glide, street glide, and we want to get the Road King. But if there's any other bikes out there or up at Harley, the Breakout, if you know there's anything everybody wants to see, please let us know in the comments. Say, I'd rather see the, you know, the Pan America. I want to see the Nightster, the Sportster, whatever. It doesn't matter. Whatever people want to see is what we want to get. And I know that one commenter already had put in the Lowrider ST for a Commute video, but we got to get to the point where we can get a Lowrider ST to be able to try it on a Commute. So we will try to get the Lowrider ST at least on the demo side of it on Saturday. But importantly, what we want to see is which ones the people on the channel, people in the community here want to watch first. We are also working on Patreon. We want to get a, you know, try to be able to use some of that money, or actually all that money, to get more bikes. Upgrade equipment a little bit, just to be able to get more content for everybody, more bikes for people to see. The young guy just did his first review video on the 2018 Ninja 400. I thought he did pretty well for the first time. You know, there's a learning curve to it. There's comfort, you know, being comfortable just talking. So it, I don't know how many people watch videos, but you watch the videos and people that are just talking, and it's kind of weird because you're talking to yourself almost. It's kind of an odd thing, and not everybody's comfortable doing that. I like the quick shifter on this. Sorry. It's jerky when you're going lower in lower speeds, but it's nice to have when you're, like right now, I'm just wanting to sit back. Ooh, see, there, I missed it. That was weird. That was really weird. I quick shifted up and it just, nothing. It's there now, it's in 6th. That was weird. I mentioned it's a good quick shifter when you're going down the road at faster speed, but when you're trying to do it at slower speeds, it's not great. You know, a little bit of it's a little off. You know, the response isn't quite good or isn't quite perfect. So, thing of note there. So yeah, we were young guy was doing pretty good, and he'll be doing some more videos shortly. I'm interested to see, you know, how he does, what he likes. I gotta tell him that the ultimate goal is just a raw impression of the bike. I mean, you can find the specs on any bike. I mean, we put most of the pertinent information up in the corner of the screen, but you can find the specs on any bike. I don't need to know the specs. You know, my biggest thing was I just want somebody riding it to tell me, how does it feel? I mean, actually ride it. Just ride it. Tell me if something goes wrong with it. I mean, tell me something that you don't like, because I may not like it either. And I just want a raw impression of a motorcycle. That's it. Just raw. Tell me. What do you think? What I think is this bike. This is a hooligan bike. Actually, this is great. Oh. This bike has its purpose. This bike is, oh God, look at it, just fall over. Oh God. This bike has a purpose. It's just, the purpose is not to take it to work every day for an hour. That is not this motorcycle's purpose. And I'm okay with that. I am absolutely okay with that. Tell you what, hopefully we don't get a lot of lights today. Open my screen here. I need the visor open. I need some more air. I have mentioned it. The other, thing for me, being 5'9", I am on the tiptoes right on this bike, and that's another reason why commuting, when you have to sit for a little bit at a light, this bike is not good for this. It's a blast of a bike to ride. Good low down torque, good grunt, and it's, you get on it. I think it's the exhaust, the pipe and everything that's on this is just it's really fun. It is, it really is. I like it a lot from that perspective. And yeah, you can like a bike and not want to ride it all the time. You can. Like I think the ZX-10R is awesome. Absolutely awesome. I haven't ridden the 2023, but I did ride the 2022. It is awesome. I wouldn't buy it, to ride every day to work. That's brutal. Absolutely brutal. There's no way I'm gonna live like that on a commute. No way. And that's okay. because the ZX-10's awesome. But if I was gonna pick one, honestly, if I was gonna pick a bike to take to work every day, I would probably go with the Ninja 1000 SX. If I was going to spend more money and wanted to do a little bit more on the touring side, I would then spend a little bit more money. I would literally spend ZX-10 money and buy the Versus 1000. Honestly, so far this year, the Versus 1000 is my favorite bike of the year. I loved that bike. It's also tall, but the comfort of the seat, I can deal with that bike like this with one foot on the rear brake and one foot on the ground because it's that comfortable to sit on. This bike is not. After 35 minutes, this bike is, to be honest, it is unbearably uncomfortable. I'm not happy. I want to get off of it at that point, and just being honest. Oh, itching my nose. Yep. So that's that. So please, I mean, if you want to see more content, you want to help us out, go over to Patreon. You find the link in the description of the video. Go over to Patreon, throw us a little bit of money and tell us what you want to see, because we want to talk directly to everybody and give people what they want to see as best as possible. Which bikes do you want to see us ride? Trying to get a couple more riders in the channel, to help us start this thing up, and just a little part-time thing, just kind of get more content for people, get different perspectives on motorcycles. So that's another thing we're trying to accomplish as well. And hey, that's just kind of where we're at right now. I mean, I'd like to figure out, maybe get the chance to be able to purchase an Insta360 camera, because I see a lot of those. It look pretty cool. I just wonder kind of what we could get with that. But spent between GoPros and microphones and things like that, we're already computer to be able to edit this stuff. I mean, software. We're already into the project, so we gotta work the regular job a little bit more to pay a little bit more of this expense. That's all. And we're gonna do it with or without help. It's just gonna take longer. And it's 2023. We're in the middle of May right now. I need to get more content out to people. Oh, forgot to downshift. A little bit more traffic than I'm used to at this time of day. Whew. Yeah, that air is just nice and chilly. Good ride. See, this is great for these little jaunts. At this point, I'm still comfortable, you know, and it's early. I'm old, so bones are kind of, joints are still tight, but it's not too bad at this point. By the time, give me another, I think I can feel it's about another 10 minutes, and I'm gonna be like, oh boy, where's work? I need to get off this bike. I think I'm gonna take the I think I'm gonna try to take the Ninja 400 home before we give it back. I don't know why. I don't know why. I just wanna, I like the Ninja 400 a lot, and I know the young guy just did his video, came out last night. I'm proud of him. He's really trying, and I'm proud of him for it. He's just a friend of mine. He just happens to be younger. We've done some work in the past. Whoa. These brakes are really good. That back wheel kind of came up there. Just a little bit. Just a friend and works really hard, you know, good guy, and just want to have some kind of a passion project that, you know, you can enjoy, you know, not the standard every day you gotta go to work kind of thing. You know, we both love motorcycles, and hey, if you can get a chance to do what you love, or, you know, try to do something that you love, whether it works out or not, doesn't matter. You tried. You know, you did your best. And that's the most important thing in life. Don't ever go through life regretting something that you didn't do. Don't ever do it. If you have a dream, you have a vision, you have something you really want to do, you think that's what you should be doing, as long as it's not like completely illegal, I mean, do it. Go out there and try. Because if you don't, then you'll always look back and say, man, I wish I had. I wish I tried. I might have been able to do something there. I'm old enough now to say that, yeah, there are things in my life I should have done. Things in my life that I should have tried to do, but I didn't, because I was worried about it, or I had an excuse as to not to do it, you know. And at this point in my life, I won't do it again. I wanted to try to ride motorcycles and create videos about riding the bike. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to try it. I've been doing other things all my life, and this is something I wanted to try, and that's what I'm doing. If it works, great. If we make money from it, great. If we don't, I don't. I'm trying. I'm trying to live the life I want to live. Whee! Brakes on this are really strong. Go squeeze that with one finger. I'm just using fuck you finger. Man, the brakes are really strong. Gotta make sure. Honestly, right now I feel like getting it, riding with a backpack. I feel like I'm on my way to school. On my way to school with my backpack on, ready to go to class. My school, I'm talking about college. God, see those brakes just. Every light today, every single light. Ooh, it's gonna be one of them days. It's gonna be one of them days. I'm actually curious how many people own KTMs out there. I don't know how many people ride them. Like I talked about it before, I'd really like to ride a Super Duke. Just see what it's like. You hear so many great things about it. Or the 1290 Adventure, you know, that kind of thing. I just don't see a lot of KTMs on the road. Full disclosure. A lot of Harleys, see a lot of Gixxers, Kawasaki's, a few Yamahas, like the rare Ducati, and the even rarer Aprilia. I've never seen a Moto Guzzi. Moto Guzzi. I'd love to actually ride one of those one day. I'm just kind of curious. Who's got one out there? Who rides one? I'd like to see how many people have a certain bike, or you know, just kind of get some information about who has what around here. This is Illinois, but I don't really care. But specifically, if you're in Illinois and you own a bike, let's know what you got. I keep brake diving. It's just real. Oh God. One of the lightest motorcycles I've ever ridden. That being said, that the 2014 MV Agusta was one of my favorite bikes to ride too for the year. Because I don't really see a lot of MVs, and that bike was also really light. It was very light. It probably like 405 pounds, maybe. It was so light. When I was fully fueled, it was so light. It would just freaking fall over. A bike like that, I wish I'd get more time with. God, another light. Jesus. Jesus. Another light. We are really doing well this morning with the stoplights. Oh, man. This one's not too bad. See if we can get to an actual place where we can go without stopping for 5 seconds. Or not. Another light. Or not. Just get some silence. Love springtime. Really do. Starting to warm up a little bit, but it's still under 60. And with the fact that there's no wind protection on this bike, yeah, it's still chilly. But my body is almost adjusted to it now. This KTM is, you know, like I said, it's a great bike, just not for this purpose. It's not for this purpose. This is not a daily commuter. Not in the least. Some really nice plots of land here. Just when we were growing up, none of this was here. None of it. Very little of this was here when I was growing up. I think, memory serves me correct, I think when I was like 7 years old, my father hit a patch of, this was single lane road, or, you know, just 2 lanes. total. One this way, one that way. And hit a patch of ice, black ice, and ended up spinning off into the ditch back in there. Oh. I remember that moment. I was in the back seat and I was kind of half asleep. I was awake after that. Of course, I'm in the back seat, and no seatbelt, nothing. Because it was a different time. It was a different time. Back then, we'd ride in the back of the wagon. Doesn't matter. No seatbelts. Don't need that. It's unnecessary. Well, we were making progress. I was really hoping to get this one really nice and, you know, a little bit quicker, because this is one of my favorite spots on my commute. But too many people here. This spot right here is really good when there's no traffic, because you can go down that curve or the turn there and you can kind of really dive into it. And to also full disclosure, I almost wrecked there. I tried to take it even further than I should have. Luckily I did not lose the front and the rear didn't come out on me, but it was pretty sketchy. I felt it kind of start to slip and like, okay, that's enough. Had to ride through it, because if you don't, you're gonna, you know, you are gonna wreck it. But I think I was messing around on a little Ninja 250 at the time, so it wouldn't have hurt too bad if I had wrecked it. I mean, as far as cost goes, it was, you know, like $1,000, but I still wouldn't have enjoyed it. And that's just for the bike. I was wearing gear, but still, it's still a fun spot to do that on. They were doing fine here. No need. We were talking about that the other day. Me and a couple friends about lane splitting and filtering and things like that. I said lane splitting is something that I'm not too keen on. Like on this bike specifically, could I go straight up that middle? Yes. Would I? No. But there's neither here nor there. When we're talking about, you know, lane filtering at a stoplight, yes, please, for the love of God, motorcycles should be able to go to the front of the line, because it will speed up traffic as a whole. And it will be safer. Everybody's always worried about their cars, or people in the car are worried about the freaking, no, they can't, I can't go, then they shouldn't be able to go. Well, you're not thinking outside of your box. We're doing so well. Oh, you're doing so well. Hey, there are a lot of bugs out here right now. A lot of bugs. Jesus. God, none of this used to be here when I was a kid. When I think about it. It's a nice quiet area here. Nice neighborhood. I have to stop and get something to drink. I think I'm going to turn the first ride, I'm going to turn that into, you know, just the first impression like it is, you know. When we do the long ride home, or the ride home is a little bit more spirited. You know, we get some moments to kind of open it up. And the Commute, honestly, because I've already done 2 videos on this bike, it's like, there's not really much more I can say about the bike itself. I think the Commute is just a way for me to talk, you know, about ride a different bike. I'll occasionally, you know, talk about the bike a little bit, but I think it's going to be more for me to be able to kind of talk to people that made comments, kind of, you know, about other videos, kind of maybe try to interact a little bit outside of just comments, you know. Kind of get a few things that I'm trying to think about, where I think we're going, what I think we can do in the future. That kind of stuff. That way I can just kind of clear my head. And it might work as a reminder too, because I can go back and look at things. What was I thinking about at that point? Where was I going? What was my plan? You know what I mean? I think that's what this particular video is going to be. It's just my time to chat. That might have been a combination of the air pressure, because I really didn't get that same shake that I got last night. And I checked the tires, and like I said, I fixed the kind of fixed it up a little bit. Yeah, I didn't do that. It started to when I came off acceleration, but not nearly as bad. It was bad last night, trying to come home. So that wasn't bad. Good job. Good job. 110? I think I looked down, I saw 110. I had that pin too. But I'm an old guy and I'm kind of fat, so, you know. Younger guy or slimmer guy might be able to get a little bit more on this. But let's be perfectly honest and let's be real. Look, 110 miles an hour is, honestly, that's pretty fast. I don't need to go any faster, especially not anymore in my life. But 110 miles an hour, man, that's pretty quick. I mean, 120 on the, you know, the Indian Challenger. It still had more, but wife looked at me this morning, now that I'm thinking about it, putting on my backpack. She's like, what are you wearing a backpack for? I said, you forget what I rode home in last night? I said, oh yeah. Indian Scout. Indian Scout. First bike I ever filmed on this channel was an Indian Scout. First one. It was a good bike. That bike actually sold via our Facebook page. There was a friend of the channel that owned it and said, hey, why don't you film it and list it for me? Just get rid of it. And I said, absolutely, I'll do it. You know. I'm selling that bike for $10,500. You know, he had a couple $1,000. Probably could have gotten more for it, but all he wanted was that, and it was good. I think that right there is gonna lead me into another tangent. I think bikes are way too expensive right now. You know, for what they, you know, people wanting crazy prices. Yeah, people are wanting crazy prices for bikes. Saw a Ninja 250 the other day on Facebook Marketplace. Ninja 250. Guy wanted $3,000. I mean, it was a 2006. I mean, that was the ugliest Ninja 250 you could find. Just the styling, I don't know. It was just ugly, in my opinion. Full disclosure, I actually owned a 2007 at one point. And I loved it. It was a great bike, but it still was hideous. I owned one. It was hideous. But $3,000? That bike was worth $1,000, $1,500 tops. Oh. Like a kick in the teeth. Oh. Whew. That was the first time I'd actually been able to lean this over a decent amount. And yes, I was kind of cheating a little bit on that, because I was counter leaning and pushing the bike down a little bit harder than I needed to. I just wanted to see how it would feel. I would do that up here, but this is not a good spot. Get a decent amount of gravel that comes out from trucks coming in and out of this. You're gonna see the debris in the road. It's a fun bike to ride though. It's a fun bike to ride. It really is. The only thing I wish it had is a tach. I would just like to know what the RPMs are. I really would. I would like to know what the RPMs are, so I can make my adjustment. Other than that, can't complain. Good bike. Good bike. Would I keep this bike for a daily rider? Fuck no! No. There's no way in hell you're gonna get me to ride this bike home and back to work again. No way. I would not do it. Because it's just not comfortable. It's not built for that. It's a blast to ride. This is a great motorcycle. But not to drive for an hour every day. It's really not. I'm sorry, KTM lovers, people who love this bike, I agree with you. I love this bike. I'm just not going to ride it for an hour. So please understand where I'm coming from. It's not built for comfort, and that's okay. It's not built for a commute. Find something else, for your commute, and then take this out and play with it on the weekend. Because this is a really playful, very fun motorcycle. Just not to live with on a daily basis. Go to my 7-Eleven every single morning. I always stop here. Good group of people here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. KTM 690 SMCR on the daily commute. And like I said, no, I would not ride it again for a daily commute. I would love to blast around some country roads and then get off of it. As always, everybody, stay safe, enjoy the ride, and thanks for tuning in and supporting us. GoPro, and recording. GoPro, stop recording.